How would you like to know how to create your own personal magic symbol that works for you 24 hours a day without you having to think about it and can create any of the things that you ask it to do? Right? Did I just say maybe there's a genie in a bottle somewhere? You're like, Susan, come on, there's got to be limits. there are, no, there's no limits. Actually, never mind. There's no limits here. We're going to talk about sigils. This is important. This is helpful. And I learned a whole bunch just listening to my spirit guides tell me about how to talk to you about this video. Sigils are a symbol charged with energy and intent, right? They're a visual anchor of a vibration, of a specific desire or affirmation. The word sigil comes from Latin sigillium or sigillum, meaning seal, right? And in ancient times, magicians, mystics used them to connect with spiritual forces or to seal their intention into the universe. Now, that sounds maybe mystical. Maybe that sounds like that would be hard to do. But let me tell you, you could simply draw a box, put some circles in it and a line through it. And if you said, this to me personally equals my house is protected from all things physical, supernatural, anything at all, it's always protected. This sigil I imbue with this energy. And this energy will protect my house always. And what if you took that and put it under your doormat? That would be an actual magical symbol that's working to protect your house 24/7. When you're not there, when you're sleeping, it doesn't matter. How simple was that? Pretty simple, right? And you're saying, well, Susan, how do I know? Like, how do I know what to draw for a protection sigil? I don't know what to do here. How do I do it? Well, I'm going to tell you, and it's really simple. It's really simple. You're going to draw whatever has power for you, what feels powerful. Because for some of us, a circle feels powerful. That, yeah, that's me. That feels like a powerful thing. To others, it could be a diamond. To others, it could be 3 lines. And still others could be a circle with 5 lines going through it. It's completely personal. It's completely up to you. And that's why it has power. If you were to, and you can, right? You can, if you were to go online and buy a book of sigils and or look up sigils for protection, and then you copied it, well, yeah, you can do that. But the problem is the guides just call that weak sauce because it's not really your energy. So they want to describe it like this. If you went to the store and you said, I need to buy some shoes, and they said, okay, here's your shoes, it's one size fits all, they're shoes. And you said, no, one size doesn't fit all. I need this size and I don't even like that style. And they said, no, the shoes. You asked for shoes, here's your shoes. That's how using somebody else's version of or idea of protection is for you. One size fits all. Does it really work for you? Not nearly as much as if you sat down with a piece of paper and said, I'm going to draw 3 ideas of protection. And maybe that's an I, right? Like maybe that's what you see. Or maybe you see a circle with an X, like don't enter my circle. That's your personal sigil. And that's magic. No one knows what your idea of energy is. They don't have to. All that matters is that you feel it in your body. Now, what if you say, Susan, well, I'm not a good artist? I would say that's even better because when we're creating art, we're often creating it with the idea that somebody else is going to find it pleasing or that our own version of how art should look, it looks pleasing for that. This is not about pleasing anybody. This is about guttural instinct energy. This is about how do I feel about this circle with a dot in it? Do I feel strong? do I feel weak? And doing this, if you will do this exercise, you will learn, you will actually exercise your intuition. Because in the beginning, when we draw a circle with a dot in it, we might not feel anything. I don't feel anything, Susan. That's fine. You got to start somewhere. And that's where you're starting. So if you draw whatever your brain says, I think this is protection, go with it. Go with it. Because here's what's going to happen. You're going to draw it on a piece of paper, whatever. I want you to keep this simple. I don't want you to start thinking, oh, I'll get out some mosaic glass. And, I don't want you to make this complicated. I want you to make it simple. I want you to make it very easy and simple. So you make this thing and then you say, well, I don't know. I think I did it. Okay, that's fine. Because you're also learning trust and faith. We have to have faith, don't we? That there's unseen forces. We have to have faith that there's angelic forces. We have to have faith that there's spirit guides. We have to have faith that there's a higher being than us. So we also have to have faith that I can create and manifest something that's powerful. Because when you say, I don't have the power, Susan, I don't feel anything. Okay. Let me also put it to you like this. When you give your power away, what does that mean? What do you think of when you think of that? I gave my power away. Does that mean that you did something you didn't want to do? Maybe you signed up for some task or you offered to do something that you didn't want to do it and you felt like you gave your power away. Could it be that you at work offer to do extra work and you're not getting paid for it? Is that giving your power away? If we can give our power away, then that means we have power to be able to give away. So when you think, I don't have any power, I can't imbue this with power, I want you to remember all those times when you felt powerless, when you felt like you gave your power away. Because if you're giving your power away, you have power and you can take some of that power that doesn't have perhaps a feeling. Perhaps you don't feel it. Trust, know that you have it because something gets you up and makes you go to work. Something, the power of society, the power of needing to make money. This is all power. Why not take a little bit of that power for ourselves, right? And use it and imbue it just because we intend for it to be so. I intend that this drawing is going to protect my house physically and metaphysically, spiritually, in all ways. This drawing is going to protect my house. This is a sigil. I imbue this with power. Now, again, that sigil could be a dot. It has more power if you scribble something than it does if you were to buy somebody's idea of the perfect sigil. So I often have this painting behind me and I moved the camera up so that you could see the whole thing. When I got this painting, I just knew it was powerful. Now, for me, I didn't feel it. I knew it. I knew with my brain, wow, that's powerful. So when you're doing your sigil, you may know this is powerful. You may feel that it's powerful. But if you don't feel or know that, I want you to just go with it. Just go with it. If that painting doesn't feel powerful to you, then think, okay, that's just 3 lines that look like a table from the side. And then there's another line floating above it. Okay, I don't feel anything, but okay, I'll make this be protection. That's what I want you to do. I want you to just draw something and imbue the idea of protection. Then what I want you to do, take that and put it under your doormat. If you don't have a doormat, I want you to take it and fold it inward till it's like a little strip, and then put it above your door frame so nobody knows it's there. The idea behind sigils is that this is your personal power. So we don't necessarily need to advertise it. We know that this is working in the background. Like on your computer, you may have a virus protection program. You don't see it every day, but in the background, it's scanning, it's working, it's doing its work 24/7. You get an email in the middle of the night, that virus scanner scanned it. So in the morning, when you open it, you're like, oh, yeah, it's safe to open. That's what sigils are, working 24/7 in the background. You can create a sigil for wealth, abundance. You can create a sigil for success. You can create a sigil for health. You can create a sigil for anything you want. And as we said, for you, that might look very, very different than anybody else. And that's what gives it its power. Because for you said, for me, this is what happiness sigil looks like. And you want to know what? It can be a smiley face. Your sigil for happiness can be a smiley face, right? This is a rune. So runes are a divination, and it just has this. That's actually a sigil. That's a powerful ancient sigil. And what is it on its face, right? A diamond with two arrows going out the top and bottom. That's simple, you guys. It doesn't have to be elaborate. Typically, they're not elaborate, right? So think of sigils as a symbol that's charged with energy and intent. It's a visual anchor that holds the vibration of a specific desire or affirmation. This is powerful magic, you guys, and it's available to you for zero money. You make your own sigil. If you want to have better health, perhaps you draw a sigil and you put it above the refrigerator so that when you're operating in your kitchen, the health energy is there. If you want to have better sleep or better health, maybe you put it in your bedroom. Maybe you want to put the protection sigil in your bedroom. Maybe you want to have a separate protection sigil for sleep. And you could do something as simple as draw 3 Z's, like, for going to sleep, and 2 dashes for eyes that are closed. Another sigil, really and truly, is the cross. These are magical symbols. So you might use some sort of religious magical symbol in your sigil. And that is okay if you ask me. You may have your own opinion about that, and that's fine because we go back all the way around to the beginning. This is about you. This is about you using symbols that are magic for you, that make sense for you. Now, when you do that sigil, you put it under the mat or wherever it is you're going to put it. Every 30 days or so, could be 2 weeks, it could be 30 days, pull it out when you have some time and look at it. How do you feel about it now? Does it feel like it has more power? Do you feel completely neutral about it? Do you doubt that it's even working? If you feel like, I don't think this is working, then what could you add to it to make it more powerful? Now, I got to tell you, a lot of my viewers are like me. You're overthinkers, you're critical, and you're going to question every single part of this because we've been taught that making things up is silly and that a professional expert can tell me how to do this, and that's how I want to do it. I want to do it right, so I want to go to an expert. Well, you know what? The spirit guides would tell you someone somewhere came up with the idea, the name for tree. And there's lots of different versions of that depending on the language you speak. Who's the expert? Is French the right one? Is English the right one? Is Spanish the right one? There are no experts. When it comes to mysticism, when it comes to magic, when it comes to intuition, we are the experts. And learning and trusting our own faith, believing our intentions is what makes it so. It is what makes it magical. That's the important part here. So you're learning so many things at once. You drew this symbol that you don't know why you drew it. Like Susan, I don't know why, but for me, a triangle with a circle through it is protection. I don't know why, I can't explain it. If you tell me I don't know why, I can't explain it, that's all I need to know. That means that your brain was not used in the making of that sigil. It means that it came from somewhere else. And that means you can trust it. If you can't explain it, I would trust it even more because to me, that's guidance. Okay. So we're going to stretch our intuitive muscles, right? Because we're going to just draw something without editing, without making it perfect, without understanding where it comes from. And then we're going to trust. We're going to trust that it is going to help us because our intention is that it's going to help us. Now, you're also going to stretch and learn because when we do this type of work, we have to believe in it. If we don't believe, if we don't even try to believe, fake it until you can make it, that we can manifest things. If we don't believe we're worthy, if we don't believe we're ready, then it's going to be a dud. It is not going to have the magic. So the other thing you're working on right now, believe it or not, whether you realize it, is trust and faith. Yeah, I am ready. I am ready. I am worthy. So you're going to also look at that sigil and you're going to say, I am worthy of this protection. I am worthy of this happiness. I am worthy and I accept it of fill in the blank. You're going to charge the sigil with your own intention. That is extremely important. Think about the difference of power, of empowering something when you look at something you've hand drawn and then speak the magic into it versus simply saying, I think this crystal is going to get recharged by the moon and it's going to protect me. Will it? Quite possibly. Quite possibly. Crystal magic is real. But if you don't believe in crystal magic, then no, you didn't infuse it with anything. You simply went on the whole one size fits all shoe scenario and said, well, everybody says this is protection, so I got it. If you don't believe it, you didn't imbue it with your intention. So in this way, because you drew it with your own hands and you put that thought process into it, and then you held it and then you imbued it with, I am worthy of this. I am ready to receive this. This is magic on steroids. So every, say, 2 weeks or a month, pull it out, look at it. I believe I'm worthy of this. I am ready to accept this. I imbue this with love and light. And you know what is really rocket fuel for manifestations is emotion. Emotion is rocket fuel. If you want your manifestation to shoot off into the universe where it will surely be answered, imbue it with emotion. You don't know how to imbue it with emotion? Add some extra emotion fuel by listening to a song that you love that just makes you want to bebop or sing. You're raising your vibration. That is rocket fuel for your vibration. When you're listening to that happy song, whether it's classical, opera, country, rap, I don't care what it is, doesn't matter. If it moves you, that is rocket fuel for your manifestation. You're listening to that, pumping up your vibration. While you're listening to that, you look at your sigil, you're holding it, maybe you hold it to your heart and you say, I am worthy. I am ready. I am worthy. I am ready. And you're dancing with it and singing with it. This sigil has now been imbued not just with any energy, but with high level, high vibration energy. And then you take it and you put it under the mat, or you put it wherever you're going to put it. And when you need to recharge it every 2 weeks, every month, make a date, like literally set a date. I am dating this sigil. I'm going to take this sigil on a date. I'm going to take it out. I'm going to clean it off. I'm going to blow it off. I'm going to look at it. I'm going to pump up my vibration. I'm going to hold it and I'm going to say, thank you. Now we're switching into gratitude because this sigil's been working for you. You don't know it because it's a virus scanner in the background. You're not aware, but we're going to be grateful because you know what? You don't know that sigil has brought in manifestation. You didn't ascribe it to the sigil. You just thought, oh, wow, I got extra money. I wonder what happened. It's working in the background. So we're going to grab it, hold it, and be in gratitude. Thank you. Thank you so much for working with me. Thank you for protecting me. I am worthy. I am worthy and I am ready. Please continue doing your job. Now, if you want, at some point, you can hold it and say, do you need anything from me? Now, this is where, again, we're working out those psychic and intuitive muscles, because you might not get anything and you say, okay, I didn't get anything. You put it back where it's supposed to go. But guess what? If you're going to get some sort of information or guidance, sometimes it doesn't happen immediately. Because even though we're asking, we're not ready really in the zone to receive. We're still thinking about in our regular life, right? So that's when later that night or even a week later, you're like, you just keep thinking about the sigil. You just keep thinking about it. And you're thinking, I need to draw a border. How do you know that? You don't. It just went into your brain. I got to get that sigil out and add some yellow to it. I always tell you guys, guidance always comes as something you can't explain. Your brain can't explain it. Well, how did you know to add yellow? I don't know. I just had the idea. I just knew it. I felt it. I don't know. I'm being silly. Probably doesn't mean anything. Don't discount or discredit these thoughts and feelings, because that's guidance. When you don't know how you got it, that's freaking gold, solid gold guidance. So when you get that hit, whether it's when you're holding it and you say, do you need anything from me? And you think, I feel like I should move this. I think I should put it in the spare bedroom. Follow. We want to get rid of the critic. We want to get rid of the inner critic. The inner critic is your brain. Your brain is great. Paying the bills, stopping at red lights, those things. Your inner critic, your brain, is terrible at intuition. It's terrible at guidance. It doesn't understand it because it didn't come from your brain. It came from an outside source, which would be your guides. So follow whatever ideas or feelings you get. Like, I just feel like I should take this and put it here or put it there. Now, usually sigils are hidden. Now, I pointed to this painting back here. This is a sigil for me. It's not hidden. Tens of thousands of people, hundreds of thousands of people see this thing on my wall, but you didn't know it was a sigil until now. If someone were to visit my house, they would say, that's interesting, right? Or cool, or I don't like it, whatever, but I don't care. It's not for them. So you can have your sigil, somewhere public, but the problem with that is people are going to comment on it because they're not going to understand it. Why do you have that weird drawing in a frame on your kitchen counter? Why do you have that weird drawing in a frame by your front door? We don't want outside critics. We got enough critics on the inside, right? So I would suggest that you put the sigil private. So you could even hide it behind a piece of art that's hanging next to the door. You can put it anywhere. There are some people, and I don't a I don't necessarily feel this for me personally. Some people feel like you make the sigil and then you paint over it so no one can ever see it. And it's sealed. In this way, you're sealing it. Okay. Now, here's why I think this way, the way I'm telling you to do it is better because you hide the sigil from everybody but you. You can get the sigil out and you can look at it and you can go over the lines and you can reconnect with the energy, whether you feel it or not. Looking at it, tracing it with your finger, putting your palm on it, holding it to your chest, you're reconnecting. You're building up the energy connection to that sigil. It's real. If you paint over it or bury it so it disappears, it's gone. And I feel like we're in a place where we need that remembering. We need the reacquaintance with the sigil over and over and over again. Oh, yes, you've been working for me. I forgot about you. You've been doing your work, on the down low. You've been doing your work without me knowing. I appreciate that. But if you make your sigil and paint over it or dispose of it, it's gone. And I don't feel like most humans, certainly not me, I'm not in a place where I can connect enough with that sigil, just having drawn it and then releasing it. I want to, it's like a bank of energy, the guides are saying. Your bank, maybe you start it, you put $10 in it. But every time you take that sigil out and you look at it and you imbue it with energy and you love on it and you're grateful for it, you just put another $5 in there. So imagine over the course of a year, how much more energy you've imbued in that sigil through your direct intention. That is going to be powerful. Do you see the difference? So you could imbue energy in anything. Let's say you have a piece of jewelry that you want to imbue. Like when I wear this ring, I am connecting to spirit. The only time I wear this ring, I'm connecting with spirit. This ring connects me with spirit. You imbue the energy, you repeat it, you build it up, And you don't wear that ring unless you're doing the thing you've imbued the energy to it. It's job. I have a ring. I pull it out when I'm working. When I'm not working, I put it down. I've put so much energy in this ring that if I accidentally wear the ring when I'm not working, like I did one time on an airplane and the whole thing was full of dead people, okay? Like all these passengers, their dead relatives wanted to talk to me because I had open for business on my forehead. So I've put so much energy into it, working with that ring, explaining how I want to use the energy, that it said, fine, okay, great, we're doing this together. But I'm not a decor. If you wear me, I'm going to expect you to work because that's what you've told me. That's what you've built up with me. That's how you can also create energy around a sigil or any sort of thing. Uh, Rosary beads, right? People pray the rosary. You're building energy, mala beads. You're building energy every time you go through those beads. You're adding more energy. You're adding more energy, right? So, this is how you can create your own magical sigil that you can use in any part of your life at any time you want, and it can work for you 24/7 without you even knowing that it's actually doing that. Now, how do you decommission a sigil? I think somebody's asking, well, what, Susan, what happens if it gets torn? What happens if it gets dirty? The thing's under my front map. You could put it in a plastic Ziploc bag. You could even laminate it because it's not about, it's really about the iconography. Is that a word? The iconography, the visual. It's about the visual. So you could make it so that it's not going to break down, right? But let's say it does. It's just like anything. You would then just say, thank you, thank you, thank you for your service. I'm going if you didn't laminate it, right? You could bury it. You could dilute it in water and let it dilute. You could create a new sigil and then spend some time transferring the energy from one sigil to the next. How do you do it? Through intention. I have this new sigil. I want to take all the energy, the beautiful energy. I'm so grateful for your energy. I'm so grateful for you working with me. I feel like I want to move you to this new sigil because you've been working out your intuition, because you've been really paying attention to your body. You've been really paying attention to that guidance. You're going to feel or know, yeah, let's do it. And it's going to feel easy, or it's going to feel like it makes sense. Okay, that made sense. Sometimes we don't know that yes is yes because we don't know what no is. So you might not feel anything. I would say that's a yes. I would say if it's a no, you're going to know it's a no because you already worked with energy, you've imbued it with energy, you've been very consistent about working with it, or even if you've been inconsistent, you've come back to it and you've reconnected with it, and you're going to know I don't feel right. It doesn't feel right. It feels heavy. It feels like it doesn't want to go. Honor those things you say. You're like, but Susan, I don't know why I'm saying it because it's guidance. That's why you don't know. I did it, Susan, but it didn't feel right. I didn't. So then it's not ready. Honor that. Okay, you're not ready. Now, if you took your two pieces of paper and you put them together and you put them under the doormat or over the doorway or in the bedroom and you walk away, if you start feeling like, yeah, that doesn't feel right, I can't do it, I have to go back and get them. I have to go back and get them. I have to pull them apart. That's guidance. It's inexplicable. It's guidance. But if you put them together and you put them wherever you put them and you don't think about it again, it's fine. Believe me, they'll let you know if it's not working because you'll get nagging thoughts. Oh, I think I should do something with that sigil. Or you'll get an idea to go into that room and you won't know why. You'll go in there thinking, I need to clean. And you're like, no, I don't need to clean. Or you'll go in there and why am I in here? They'll bring you back to it. You may not connect the dots. This is why I'm here, but they'll bring you back to it. So this sigil work is so powerful because it teaches you about your own intuition. It empowers you to use your own intuition. It's teaching you about your power. Am I giving it away? Am I worthy of keeping it? These are all important lessons that's going to help you in your life. You don't have to be a Reiki person. You don't have to be a healer or a psychic or a medium or anything to ask and receive help from your spirit guides, your ancestors. It's available to all of us. And by working out this muscle, you're going to be easier, better able to connect with that guidance that is so helpful in this 3D world. You're getting an extra leg up that other people are not getting. It's worth all the effort. It's worth the trust. It's worth the blind faith. It's worth thinking, this is silly. I feel silly. That's why we do it in private. That's why we don't leave it out there for people to be critics. Keep it to yourself. Pay attention. Pay attention, because once you do that sigil magic, things are going to start happening, but you may not connect it back to the sigil. So just pay attention and think, could this be the sigil magic causing this? And you know what? It costs nothing to think, to believe, to accept that it is. Because faith makes it so. People that believe they're going to be successful are more successful. So believe in it. It's going to put you most of the way there, to the manifestation that you're looking for. Okay. I'm Susan Lynn. I'm a psychic medium. Thank you so much for finding this video or for following me, liking and sharing this video. I have a whole series called Wisdom on Wednesdays. I drop a video like this every Wednesday. I have another channel, Susan Lynn Spirit Navigator. It also has quite a lot of spiritual videos on it. But you know what? You're here, you're on my channel, Susan Lynn Spiritual Way Shower. I'm glad you're here. I hope this was helpful. Please let me know in the comments. If you like this kind of content, please hit the subscribe button and click the notification bell. At the very least, you'll know when it's Wednesday and you'll get helpful spiritual tips to live a better human life. And guess what? This is free. So this is really densely packed information that will help you in your life. That's what I do. That's who I am. I have classes. I have a vibrant spiritual online community. If you're looking for people just like you, that you can talk about crystals, you can talk about sigils, you can talk about ghost, mediumship, and ET, Sasquatch, whatever it is you want to talk about, I have the community for you. It is not on YouTube. It's a completely private community. Therefore, your data, your information is private because I happen to believe it's sacred. So I pay for a separate community, whereas Facebook groups are free. But we all know that they're not really free because, well, Facebook is selling your information to every Tom, Dick, and Harry. Not in my communities. In my communities, it is private, it is safe, and it is fun and vibrant and supportive. Okay. So you can learn more about all of that on my website, susanlynnmedium.com. I also do in-person events. My next one is in Santa Fe, New Mexico. I have just one or two spots open for that, and you can learn more about that at susanlynnmedium.com. It is in November, and we will have myself 3 days and 5 other psychics, mediums, shamans there to teach you, to uplift you, to show you your light, to show you your own spiritual path. Again, not to say that you have to be a mystic, you can be an accountant, but these things that I teach you will help you be happier, more satisfied, manifest what you want in your life, and have a much better life in general, right? So you don't have to be a mystic. You don't have to turn into a mystic, but you can use our tips and tricks to have a better life. Thank you so much for watching to the end. Take really, really good care of yourself. I'll see you again next Wednesday.